We got a couple things to talk about today. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get into this topic since we've already been in the concept. We've already been talking about like picking up characters and such. But CPU on Twitter asked me, hey, can you talk a little bit about like what to do about a character crisis? Now, for those of you guys who don't know what a character crisis is, it's when you are struggling to find a new character to play. You're maybe not having fun with the character you want, or you're playing so many different characters, but you're not sure which one is the one for you. And there's a couple ways to go about going through a character crisis. I think what it all comes down to is what it is you want from the game. When I struggle with finding a character to secondary or a character to main, I made it my goal to say, hey, I want to find what I like in this game, and I want to make sure that like I play a character that made me feel that gave me the most fun, that gave me the most interest in wanting to play. You guys have seen me go from Wolf. You guys have seen me play Roy. I played Joker. I played Lucina. I played all these different characters that you guys have seen me play this in bracket you from South Florida, or if you see me on stream. But it's all been me like trying to figure out what it is I want. And one of the first ways to like really beat a character crisis is to play different characters. I cannot stress it enough. If you don't experiment with characters, you're not gonna figure out what character you want to play just by not trying new characters. That just doesn't fucking work. It's just the reality of it. Let's take a look at the character select screen. There's like at least 80 characters in the game, all different play styles and such. What I used to do a lot was, hey, is there a character I'm interested in? I'm gonna play them on Elite Smash. And you know, Elite Smash is not great, but it's an opportunity to try something new. A character that I learned over the last couple months was Link. I'm like, hey, you know what? I've always kind of enjoyed Link. I always thought he was kind of good, and then I kind of wanted to see where can I go with this. You know, really taking your time to invest yourself into a character, and like start learning the ins and outs of them. I like the way like Link's projectiles and stuff work, and the cool bomb situation, the cool bomb like setups that you can do with the character. I love that with Link. That's creativity. But after playing with him for some time, I came to realize I don't care too much for his disadvantage. It's actually kind of dog shit. You know, every character has something that's bad about them. And I talked to this with Saber in the past. Like, there's not gonna be a single character that covers everything you want in a character. You know, they may have everything you want, but there may be one aspect of a character that you may dislike. And that shouldn't really deter you from like seeking out a character. You play Aegis, Bowser, Core, and PT. I mean, you know what? If you want to play that many characters, that's fine. That's fine. If you enjoy playing those characters, by all means play those characters. But consider the following. The more characters you play, the harder it is to determine what is the right character to play. Let's take a look at Saber. You know what? Saber's a great example. He plays Brawler, Palutena, Byleth, Aegis, and Cloud. That's a wide array of characters, and they definitely probably cover every fucking matchup in the game. But who you play, that can be determined on so many different things. What matchup are you playing? What character do you warm up with? What character just feels good? On some days, a character some days you may not feel good on a character. There's some days where my Greninja is the hottest character in the fucking world, and it's a secret that South Florida has never been able to see, because I'll never unearth it. But my Greninja's not good. There's days when my Fox is feeling amazing, but then there's days where my Lucas feels kind of terrible, and he's my main character. where I'm feeling better on like a Samus. You know, there's all these little things that go into it. if you're gonna play multiple characters, you're gonna need to dedicate a lot of time to these characters, because even on a bad day, I can play Lucas I can play Lucas like consistently. I can go in to any like training mode day and, oh, it's Lucas, I've been playing for so long. I can still hit my Zaire cancels. I can hit my combos, I can hit my movement. I'm good with this character because I've dedicated so much time. If you're gonna play multiple characters like that, you're gonna need to be that, you're gonna need to get to a level of proficiency with every single character to make sure that like you are able to switch off of them on the fly. Do I think having one main and a secondary is ideal? Personally, I think the one main, the one secondary is like the best thing to have in the game. I think personally you should have your main character and then a secondary that's low commitment enough that you don't need to put much maintenance. It wouldn't be smart for me to like play Lucas and secondary Snake. While Snake does well in a lot of the matchups I struggle with, which that's a consideration I've had, this character is a lot of maintenance. He's a very different playstyle. So I'll need to invest a lot of time for my Snake to be at the level I need it to be to consistently play the matchups I want to play it for, or when I'm not playing on my A game against Lucas. Do I think most people put in the amount of time needed exploring their main before moving on? No. I actually think not many people hit that level of proficiency with their characters, and that's okay. Not everybody's going to really flesh out a character, before they like decide, oh, I'm gonna swap, you know? With Wolf was an example of a character that like I played for a very long time. I never unlocked like I could barely hit forward air, back air, but I committed to Wolf for a very long time. I'm just like, you know what? It's not for me. It took me a long time to admit that, and you know, it sucks because I like the character. I like Wolf aesthetically as a character, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me, and that's okay. Now, I think people need to be prepared to take L's with whatever character they're getting to pick up, you know? When I picked up Aegis, I didn't just like pick up and expect results to come immediately, because, you know, I went from like, before quarantine started, before like we got back and I got to play Aegis, and when I would go to offline tournaments, I would consistently top 3 every event. So I knew how good I was in region at least. But I knew that if I'm going to play Aegis, if I'm gonna commit to this character, I have to be prepared to deal with the learning curve of it, because the character is fundamentally different than Lucas. And from there, I need to be prepared to take L's that I'm not prepared to take. I think before quarantine, I lost to Dominator like twice since the beginning of Ultimate. And then the first time I played him with Aegis, I got 3-0'd. I'm like, you know what? I gotta hold that. I went only Aegis. I said, you know what? I'm gonna commit to this character. I'm gonna make this character work. I'm gonna make this character work, or I'm gonna really flesh it all out before I commit to getting rid of the character. If you're going to pick up a character, invest in them, you know? I'm not gonna tell you to play them for a year like I did with Aegis, because, you know, not everybody has the time to play a character for a year. Some people want a little bit more immediate results. But you gotta be prepared to accept that like immediate results may not happen. Learning a character is a step-by-step process. And that's how I feel when it comes to picking up character crises. Now, how to determine if a character is best for you. Listen to me, chat. Listen to me. To determine if a character is best for you, you just play a character you enjoy. If you enjoy the character you play, you are going to put the necessary effort you want to put in to the character. If you enjoy your time playing the character, you're going to feel more inclined to grind that character. I'm a firm believer. You know, it can be the tippiest of top tiers in the game. It can be the lowest of the low tier. Don't force yourself to play something you don't want to fucking play. But that's my guess about going through a character crisis. And remember, you're not going to be able to, like, and this goes for everybody, you're not necessarily going to get the results immediately. You could get results immediately with the character you pick. But you really want to make sure that, hey, if you lose with a new character, don't let it discourage you. I definitely say give it some time. I'm not going to tell you to play for. I'm not going to tell you to play for a year. I'm not going to tell you to dedicate so much time, because time is everything. Time is money. You don't want to waste time. But if after a couple weeks, maybe a month, and you're like, you know what, this character's not for me, then nah. It's okay. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not going to play this character anymore. That's fine. Get to step in. There's more options in the game.